Welcome to the Friday Night Live show.
Thank you very much.
How you doing, bro? How you doing this evening?
I'm doing well, actually. I've got a little bit of a chest infection, but other than that, I'm quite well, yeah.
Yeah, all right, man. That's good news. Now, of course, let's cut to the industry side of everything. The brand new album. Is that reached the shops yet? Is that out there, or is it on its way out? If it's not released, I know it'll be very soon.
Unfortunately, the distributor I was using initially, Cargo, seemed to have forgot that they were meant to be distributing my album. So where I've had a great press company doing my press for me and getting me all the press coverage possible, who've done a wonderful job and kept it all in perfect timing with the actual release date, which would be the 29th of this month. Cargo have seemed somehow to forget that they were even doing my album and the date they were meant to be getting it released for. Therefore, we've missed all the HMV outlets for Christmas, etc., etc., which in a sense has shot me completely in my foot. So from that situation, I had to hobble off and try and seek salvage from other distributors who have told me, it's pretty impossible to get your stuff into the chain stores now, and probably you won't be able to get it in there until February. So in that respect, it's a little bit difficult. There are places you can get it. It can be bought from my MySpace right now, which is www.myspace.com/chess, or you can buy it from Suspect Packages. If not, I'm doing a in-London delivery service and doing some outside HMV stores, kind of illegal selling techniques in certain little cities. One particularly will be held in Oxford tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I'll be outside HMV signing and selling it personally. And that's kind of how I'm approaching it now, as soon as I have been hit with a few setbacks. I've got no other choice but just to take it back to the original way of doing it and selling it on the street.
No, I apologise for that assumption, man. I had no idea about that. I don't think many people would have done, though.
Yeah, I mean, I've posted some blogs and that about it on my MySpace site too, and I'm ranting and raving about a lot of things going on in the industry right now. So it makes for a very interesting read if anybody wants to go check out the blogs on my MySpace.
All right, yeah, people out there should go and check them out. I mean, you kind of use the slight euphemism that they forgot that they were going to distribute the album. I mean, what were the real logistics with that situation? Was it a simple case of they seemed to have forgotten, or was there anything else involved?
It genuinely seemed like they had other things on their mind and completely forgot that we were there.
Damn.
And for me, that's that. Because there was no contract signed or anything legally, I haven't got a leg to stand on in that situation. But we had it planned to be put out for the 29th. They had also done the first single, which, to be honest, I sold more of hand to hand than they managed to sell. So it's a disgrace. It's a shambles, to be honest. That's my fault for choosing the wrong distributor, because they obviously weren't enthusiastic about pushing it. I think a simple case is guitar, singer-songwriter music right now is massive, and they're pushing that much more because it's obviously going to make them a little more money, and they, in that sense, they shouldn't take on board hip-hop artists if they're prepared to give it a push, because they've done nothing to get pre-sales, nothing at all, didn't even inform chain stores, being HMV and whatnot, that it was going to be released, and it's a complete failure in that sense.
It is a real shame, because
it is.
We've got a copy through one of our team. I think may have purchased it from your MySpace. We've got a copy. We've been playing tracks off it last week, I think, and we played a track off it tonight as well. And I am a connoisseur when it comes to the full album. I hark back to the early '90s. I always like the complete package, and this is not just because I'm talking to you now. I honestly feel that this is a really dope album. It's a really strong album from start to finish.
Thank you very much, man. I'm in agreement with that. It took me some time to think it out and make it a little packaged thing, and I was always aware that certain hardcore Task Force fans might not like it because it's a little different to what they're used to hearing. But in my personal opinion, it's something quite special, and I've turned the corner, and it's good because there are a lot of people who share your opinion as well and find it quite good.
Yeah. I can imagine your kind of hardcore Task Force fans who may listen to the album and think this is different. I don't think anybody would front on you and say this. Oh, I don't like this. This is whack. But I think they might turn around and might say it's a bit different. But obviously, one of the big things that I wanted to ask you about the album was the production on it. Now, there's a lot of live instruments on this.
Yep. Well, I mean, Slippers. He's trained classically in music. He's trained to play soundtrack music and all kinds of stuff. He studied hard. he's a great musician, and on that whole album there's probably only one sample. All the drums are live, all the instrumentation's live, and it's something that probably gets overlooked and Slippers is highly underrated for. It has that crossover appeal because of that. Unfortunately, because of the industry, it's let me down a little bit. It might not be able to cross over as far as I was personally hoping it would. Slippers production for me I love it. It's always immaculate. It's not to everybody's taste, but then again, nothing is to everybody's taste. So you can only please those who are going to be pleased. The production is massive, and the fact that it's live music gives it a nice, clean sound. And mixed by Alan Maudsley, who does an amazing job as well. So he's got everything tweaked very well, and overall the sound of it is a great quality.
It is, and that's something on an honest tip as well. That's something that sometimes puts me off really getting into a hip hop album, in the sense if anybody was to come with the kind of pitch that it's live instruments and there's one sample on it. That tends, I used to anyway. I used to kind of go, my personal taste would be, I like the samples, I like the grittiness.
Absolutely.
But this album is not like that, and it was a shock to me. When I was looking through the credits of production and stuff, I was looking through and thinking, wow, man, I could never tell, and that just shows you how good that Slippers, how dope he is.
That's right. Because he hasn't tried to play it like a musician.
No.
Sometimes when musicians are playing hip hop, they still try to be too musical and too trying to step out of the box of hip hop production. But Slippers has kept it very hip hop sounding, and he's done a real good job, man.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let me ask you this question: were you hand to hand selling last Sunday when you were due to be on the show?
No, actually, I was actually being detained on Her Majesty's pleasures. Basically, I had a little bit of a warrant, and a couple of our favourite people out there on the street picked me up and put me in a cell for a little moment of time. But all that sort of stuff just flies over my head. I get on with it. Unfortunately, I wasn't hand selling. I wish I was, man.
Now, I knew the reason why you weren't with us. I didn't want to split it out on air, but it was a case of I thought maybe that could have been the reason why you couldn't be with us and why you were detained, because of maybe you were kind of caught on the street hand selling, and that's why they detained you. But it was another reason, was it? It was something else.
It was more just personal, just getting out of my pram after a few drinks and getting into a scuffle, basically.
Right. Okay, we'll leave that one there. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of taking the wind out of my sails hearing that news about the distribution going through, that you're going to possibly miss Christmas for the release of the album into HMV and everything. Obviously, I wanted to build momentum up, obviously big up the album as it deserves, and then tell people when they could cop it, and that kind of thing. But to hear that's depressing, really. It really is.
It kind of set me back, especially since every penny that's been put into it has been borrowed by friends of mine who have money to borrow me, and been taken out of money that Slippers has had saved up, or he's managed to borrow from people himself. And we've put quite a lot of money into this as well as time. So it's a difficult situation, but ultimately I'm one of them people who will find the bright side of everything. And in that situation, the bright side of it is, it's reminded me how important my relationship with the fans directly is, as opposed to my relationship with the distributors, with the magazines, with the labels, rare. For me, it's reminded me that the fans are the people I do this for, and to actually get out there and meet them face to face and give them my product, sign it for them, and get a connection with them, it feels a lot nicer. And I'm quite confident we'll still sell as many CDs as I was expecting to, maybe a few less, but I'm still confident we'll do well. It's something I'm just going to have to put my heart into pushing, and get out there and force it onto them, and just be in people's faces, turn up outside clubs selling it, and so on and so forth. That's the only option I'm left with. So it did knock the wind out of my sails, but there's always another wind to catch yourself,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's in the days of the internet that we're in now at the moment. It's far from the end of the world. It's still, it still is much more convenient if you can say I've got the HMV distribution on it. But at the same time, there's avenues out there where you can just sit on your arse for like a day and you can just sell records just via the internet as well. So
that's right. Of course, just through MySpace, and I got a friend setting up an online shop as well. So, and with Suspect Packages, they're selling quite a lot for me. And I know a couple of independent stores around the places, and I can get them in there. And ultimately, in a way, it's like a blessing in disguise, because it's given me a lot of inspiration to remind myself of how I ever got in this, why I ever got in this, and my direct relationship with the fans once again.
Yeah, exactly, man. Now, I've got my co-host Menace inside the studio. How you doing, bro?
How you doing, brother? How you doing, Chester?
I'm cool, man. How are you?
Good, man. Now, whilst we're on the topic of industry politics and whatnot, I wanted to talk to you really quick about the recent Hip Hop Connection controversy surrounding you and the review they recently did. Can we quickly talk about that?
Yeah, of course. I can talk about anything. I have nothing to hide at all.
So, for those that haven't read the blogs, the posts you've put up on ukhiphop.com, can you just, let them know what's going on?
Well, ultimately, I've had lots of issues with distributors, with people, and I'm very outspoken. And in my opinion, in this industry, I sit behind the Iron Curtain, and I hear all kinds of artists, all kinds of people moaning and saying who does what and where they do it and how this person's done this, that, and the third. But none of them will stand up and say it out loud. Now, I'm not that kind of person. I don't do the two-faced thing. If something's bothering me about the industry, I think it's only fair to let the fans who are supporting the industry with their finances understand what's going on behind the Iron Curtain. So I've come out a bit and spoke my mind, and I am very outspoken, and I'm not always right, and I'm not trying to say I'm always right, and I'm perfectly happy to admit when I'm wrong. And I've done one blog referring to all the distribution problems I've had, talking about the issues I've had with brain tax, and talking about the fact that Excalibur brought up the brain tax issue and accused me of never bringing my problems to the source of the problem and always just ranting and raving on stages. And, there's a couple of different things in there. And then from the backlash of that, I get information which to me seems virtually 100% true, that a reviewer for Hip Hop Connections called Adam Anonymous is also an MC called Akira the Don. Now, Akira the Don was reviewed by Adam Anonymous in Hip Hop Connections and got given front page and blah, blah, blah. And he got, I was led to believe he got 5 stars. I'm now being told he got 3 stars. But for a reviewer in a magazine to be able to review their own album seems a little bit outrageous to me. So I've spoke out about this. And, the evidence I was given, the link I was given, it seems perfectly reasonable to believe that it's true. It actually says, Akira the Don, also known as Adam Anonymous, blah, 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 blah. So there's no reason for me to doubt that. So I've instantly spoke my mind. There's been a lot of backlash on it, and a lot of people are on my side. Now, over the past 12 hours, I've been getting certain other little dribbles of information which are saying that that's not necessarily true and it isn't him, and there's been some mistake because he always gets confused with a guy called Adam Alphabet, who is supposedly Akira the Don. But for me, it all sounds like a cover-up. Now, there was some information on Wikipedia saying that Akira is Adam Anonymous. That information has now been deleted suddenly today, some point, which is suspicious, And I was trying to paste it into a little blog I was writing, but there is bits of information going missing. No one knows who Adam Anonymous is. He proclaims he's not called Adam Anonymous because he is anonymous, but nobody knows who he is. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Again, in this situation, if I am wrong, I've said some things which might have damaged some people's reputation, I will stand up and apologize as openly as I have accused them. I'm not afraid to be wrong, but ultimately it doesn't look like I'm wrong, and they're not doing much to sway the people's thoughts to believing that they're right. So with HHC, I'm just in a situation where they need to pull their fingers out quickly. I've left my phone numbers on their page. I've left my phone number on Akira the Don's page. I've left my phone number with Adam, and none of them are calling me, And it's if I'm making an accusation and I'm wrong, and I'm talking about Britain's biggest hip-hop magazine, surely they jump on one of the forums and defend themselves and put me in the right. Surely they do that. Surely you can't, if I'm saying you're Akira the Don, but you're not, you're going to be able to prove that to me very easily. So why aren't they doing it? So I've just written a new blog on putting all the new evidence I've been given, which is defending them and which is accusing them, so it's fair. And I really just want to get to the bottom of it, because for me, the people who buy that magazine, if it is a case where those who work in the magazine get favors, I think we should try and get it taken off the shelf. I think that's a complete outrage. I just don't think that should be allowed, you know. And there are laws around that sort of thing. And I'm starting to smell a rat, and it's starting to look like they're done up a big cover-up. And like I say, there are certain bits of information going missing off the internet. And it all happened today, basically, you know.
Yeah, so you're hearing all this now. A lot of listeners obviously are responding. A lot of the British listeners are responding. One or two kind of journalists that we've got in tune are kind of, these are not Hip Hop Connection journalists, but they're saying, you know, big up to yourself for exposing this, and you're only scratching the surface, as one journalist. And with it, Hip Hop Connection, I mean, the shadiness that goes on there, he's saying.
Yeah, but, this is the thing. Again, I've been behind the Iron Curtain for years. I know what goes on in that magazine. I know what goes on there. So they know they can't defend it to me, because I have first-hand evidence of what goes on there. I know what goes on there. I paid my way into that magazine before, you know.
Yeah, and we have been told by a few UK guests on this. Now, that clarifies something for me, because when Akira the Don was getting all the exposure, and till about a couple of months back, I think I saw his face in there again, and I couldn't understand, after we sought out his music, obviously we're looking for dope, but I couldn't understand why the magazine was running with that artist. But after what you've said, this makes sense to me now. You've just clarified something.
That's exactly it. For me, I could never understand how this man is getting any support. He's absolutely rubbish, and that's not just me saying it because I'm a hater. The guy is awful. It's despicable. And not to mention the fact in his article, which was written by Adam Anonymous, he goes on to say Task Force Dinosaurs, Rodney Peer Dinosaurs. This man is coming out of his show and calling some of British hip-hop's greatest soldiers, like, dinosaurs are not worthy and rare, but his music is awful, you know what I mean? It's like, he needs to eat his beard, man. He needs to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's. I'm going to go and dig out that old copy that I've got somewhere, because, you know, and just look at it and just fathom the secret codes going on there, because it's a case of that makes sense to me now with Akira the Don, because I could, as much as that magazine seemed to be saying, get up on this guy, I wasn't prepared to do it. I just thought,
not at all. And I've noticed that with other labels, because Andrew Emery is a person. This is the thing. They're all people who are top boys in this game, and they think if you speak out, you're going to be scared to speak out against them if you're an artist, because it can cause you a lot of problems. They can't hurt me, because my fans love me. That's the point. I ain't afraid to call out names. And so Andrew Emery, he's run certain labels. We all know his connections with what labels and what. And his artists always get love. And there's a few more, you know. And yeah, ultimately there's a lot of dirt to be found underneath their little fake front of being British hip hop's realist magazine. There's nothing real about it. It's like I say in my blog, man, that sits on my toilet floor till the Andrex runs out. Simple.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I think what we might do this week then is try and get somebody from HHC on the show next week. It'll be a pointless exercise. It'll be a collection of rhetorical statements about the magazine and how.
Yeah, of course.
But
I mean, if that ever happens, I'm ready to have a face-to-face with any representative from that magazine, any of them. I'll sit face. Well, for me, the ideal situation to prove Adam isn't Akira, which they're saying, is to get me, Adam, and Akira in one room and have a conversation about it. That makes sense to me, but they're not going to do that because they're not real enough to do that. You know.
Maybe we could. Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking how we could make that work, but I don't think we could, because obviously
that's never going to happen.
It'd be over the phone. Anyone can put on Akira's accent, can't they? So it wouldn't. This
is the thing. We need to have a face-to-face. We all need to sit there and have a face-to-face. Yeah. That's the only way they can ever prove it to me, because it's going to be a cover-up otherwise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's. I thought tonight's interview would be a very positive one, and obviously we've got the distribution thing going on there, and Hip Hop Connection, but it's not new, like you said, with the Hip Hop Connection. This type of dirt is going on in all media outlets, and it's always
all media is like that. But in the same breath, to me, it is very positive, because what I'm trying to do is make everybody see this, at the risk of me losing all my hard-worked status, because I've worked hard to get where I am. I've been here a long time, and this could all be snatched away from me by these industry people, but I'm not going to let them bully me like they're Nestle into feeling like I'm not allowed to tell the fans, the real people who I do music for, that this is happening. So I would rather lose everything I've worked for and everything I dreamed for than sit down and let these, I can't even say the word on air, but let these people try and bully me. No way, it's not going to happen, you know. So right now I'm in a situation where I feel very positive about this, because it's causing a new revolution for music in this country, and that's what we've needed. Because I'm getting loads of artists coming to me and saying to me, Chess, we're behind you, bruv, let's do this together. We know how the industry is, let's step on it, let's push them, you know. And that means something to me, that the artists as well as the fans are all joining with me under this umbrella to go out there and make war with the people who are trying to hold us back, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't mention the comment thoughtfully there about, you know, I can't say what I want to say on air, but of course we're totally uncensored. We're just a channel of hip-hop. There's no advertising, there's no money coming in.
Right.
There's no money coming in at all. I've tried to keep it that way, even though it's very difficult to finance everything without advertising.
Yeah, of course.
So that we have no strings, and there's no kind of, you have to play this because we gave you this. And, you know, so there's no crap involved. And we've been doing this for over a year now, and people have really got behind it, like you said. And artists, you know, willing to take time out to interview. And, of course, we've got many artists lined up to do their own radio shows on Conspiracy Worldwide as well. You know, a lot of big US names out there, including a very big name who has that attitude about the industry. Of course, Technique as well, we've had on the show, and it's just been a big ride for ourselves. And but it seems like that for yourself. It seems like it's a ride, but like you said, there's a lot of positive with all that, and it's just getting people behind you now and making you see how many people are behind you.
That's exactly what it is for me. It's just rallying up some morale, because you know British hip hop's been struggling a little bit of late, and I'm just trying to rally up people's morale a little bit and say, come on, man, let's not be disheartened. We've come this far. Let's not give up. You know, I put my faith in the natural elements of life, and I know I'm a very spiritual boy, and I'm connected to the world in the way I'm meant to be. And ultimately, you cannot keep good people down. You can't, and they can throw all the little bits of industry jargon at me they want. They know they can't beat me. They know they cannot beat me, because everything I do with integrity, and I'm honest, and I keep myself real to what I believe in. And if they don't believe in that, that's good, because they're fake. So therefore, me and them ain't in the same place. And you know, this is positive stuff for me, man. I'm really happy about it, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, man, that's what it's all about. I think when it comes to the magazine Hip Hop Connection, for all the naive younger listeners out there that kind of use that still as their Bible for what to buy and what to go look for, don't do that, all right? This is the message that we've always said on this show anyway. But, of course, we're just reiterating that message, you know. I think next month's issue's got Mr. Wong on the cover, so what does that tell you? I'm only joking.
Right.
I'm only joking. God forbid that day. That's when Jesus himself will come back and save us, when Mr. Wong ever appears on the front cover. But anyway, look, go and enjoy the rest of your night, what's left of it, Chester P, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time out, and let's see what we can do to try and get behind you as well, and try and make people all one force, like you say, and just keep hip-hop alive.
And keep it what it's meant to be. It's meant to be music and the people who love music. That's all it's meant to be.
Yeah.
You know? And thank you for your support, and keep up the good work you're doing there as well, man.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. All right, I'm going to say peace, Chester P. We'll talk. We'll get in contact with you off air at some point, and we'll have a little chat. All right, man.
Brilliant, man.
Been an absolute pleasure. We'll speak soon.
Peace.
All right, Chester P. Conspiracy Worldwide, the Friday night live show. That's how it goes down. We overran with that interview, though. People didn't feel it was a lengthy, generic interview. I think I was enjoying. He was feeding me a lot of information, and he just. I should know really, in the position that we're in, but I didn't twig with that Akira the Don thing, Menace. Yeah, I had no idea about that. That he was actually
I read
working.
it on ukhiphop.com today, and like you said, funnily enough, one of the posts he has posted is funnily enough gone, so strange.
Oh, I don't know. Makes you laugh, doesn't it? Anyway, Conspiracy Worldwide, we'll push into this one, and we've got to move on. We're late, aren't we? We're 10 minutes late now for our next scheduled guest tonight, Conspiracy.
East side, west side, south side, it's a London something. I'm representing North London, yeah? North 5. Spit raps in a space where they couldn't swing cats. Gin that, try kill it, then I bring it back. Polyfiller dinners fill a gap. Now is it that killer with the filling back? Brother, tell me, is it that? Vivid that even spray paint couldn't bring it back. A minute is infinity to live it in the sinner's trap. Spin it if you're feeling that. When it's reeling back, kill a cat like the rapper on a green and blacks. In the city tax, red backs wanna give me jabs. Roll like a Cadillac, fuck that, give me jags. Body Karamat dressed in the platinum blacks. Backtrack where the capital lacks. Crap, big bigger than religion in the back of the flats. Realer to the matter of fact, blood I shattered the trap. Like a spine, I'm the cap in the back. I'm the man who put the apple in Mac. On these planes, Bruce Wayne could have tackled the backs. May I mention, nothing in this world is free, so pay attention. Came with the powers divine to say shit I should have saved to assign the last hours of time. Cast iron, but I'm fighting the rust. Past time and I crush world lies that I'm dying to trust. Deep sleep's hard to beat in the streets with the science of love. In every beat of my heart, my art speaks in defiance of the triumphs of love. Bringing peace to the peace mark. Flying the doves, still a king in this rap game. My slang is a black flame, name is a ram raid. Shatter your campaign, top of that sensei. 10 pace space, comprende. My pen shakes, trying to vent hate. I roll in a tense state. In a sense, I prevent fate and my friend's sake. My pen spits, handwritten templates. Overall, man, I'm over the wall in rap. Jailbreak cat, trying to figure where the border's at. Is it that killer back from the wars of rap? Enforce a track with fact. The real quarter mass, Watergate, water rats. Couple battle cats, backdoor, right in your face like a quarter.
If you just tuned in, welcome.
So raw to rap, listen, it's more than that, man. My slang's endorsing endorphins, exhausting dwarfs, and my sword is black. Like night when it falls on the hordes of cats. Is it that rap killer with the gristle back? Like Dracula, no one ever could have mirrored that. Street better than a veteran, I sever any track. Blood, I'm heavy, when you're ready, let me bury that. Cellophane whiz kids, herbs in the mix with my biscuit. Twisting my words with the mystic. Shake sticks quick on the misfits. This shit's real with a twist. It's the kid from the district. North 5, motherfucker N5. North side, motherfuckers worldwide. North 5.
Hold it down to all the Mr. Wong fans that were offended by my comments there.
Worldwide. North 5, motherfuckers M5.
He has refused us interview twice. We're dying to get Mr. Wong on.
Motherfuckers M5, North side, motherfuckers worldwide.
Also, apparently, there's been a lot flying around about my dislike of N-dubs. I've never mentioned their name on the show. I think that's what people have been saying.
I'm a priest in the streets. I'm a priest in the streets.
More on that later. That's the quote of tonight's show. We're going to use that a lot, I think. DJ Muggs is going to be with us, as are Kids in the Hall. Raucous artist with a brand new album on its way. They're going to be with us straight after this one. Kids in the Hall next.